talk about compound and complex sentences. A good place to start would be independent clauses. Independent clauses contain a subject, a verb, and their complete thoughts. Another way to say an independent clause would be a simple sentence. You can think about it in your head, and it makes sense. It'll be an independent clause. For instance, we would be the subject of an independent clause. Rake the leaves would be the complete predicate or the verb. Verb could also be called the predicate. So, in a sense, it's just a simple sentence. So, in a sense, I have a paper out. I, as your subject, have a paper out would be your complete predicate. Get a picture here of my wife and I on our wedding day. And the reason I put that there is, independent, the word independent could be thought of as like an adult. Could be independent. So if an adult's independent, it stands by itself and they don't need their mom or dad. So the contrast to that would be a dependent clause. All right, a picture of my 4 kids. They're what we call dependent. They need something else. They have a subject, a verb, not a complete thought. Dependent clauses, not a complete thought. Just like kids, they're not complete yet. They're not adults. So if you think about it, Dad trimmed the trees would be independent. What makes it not independent is while. While is what we call a subordinating conjunction. So if we look here at a list, and you can pause the video and get this list. This is a list of subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions start dependent clause. Alright, so if you think about it, they'll begin your dependent clauses. If you want to copy this list, I'm not going to go through it, but you can pause the video and copy this list and put it in your notes. I'm going to go back to teaching. So if you look at the example, while, that's your subordinating conjunction. I'm just going to abbreviate. Subordinating conjunctions while, because would be your subordinating conjunction here. Starts a dependent clause of because I'm saving for a bike. So what is a complex sentence? Complex sentence is a sentence that has at least one independent clause or one or more dependent clauses. The dependent clause will begin with the subordinating conjunction, which we just learned about subordinating conjunction. So in the example sentence below, if you look at the 3 example sentences below, you have, because Kayla has so much climbing experience, is a dependent clause. Why is it a dependent clause? Because it has a subordinating conjunction that begins it. It needs something else. We asked her to lead the group would be independent. In the next example sentence, since I was absent is a dependent clause. Since would be your subordinating conjunction. I didn't have my homework ready would be an independent clause. It doesn't have a subordinating. Notice these are 2 subordinating clauses that you can find on your list. Where's the other one? There's no comma. Why is there no comma? Because if a sentence begins, such as the highlighted ones, with a dependent clause, there'll be a comma in the middle between the dependent and independent clause. However, if the dependent clause, such as while, is at the end or follows the independent clauses that starts the sentence, there will be no comma before it. So I don't need a comma before while. I do need a comma if the dependent clause, such as since I was absent, begins a sentence. Yes, you can start a sentence with because. Common misconception. What is compound sentence? Review from last year. Compound sentence, you're getting a little confused here, is one or more simple sentences, and it has a coordinating conjunction. What are coordinating conjunctions? Coordinating conjunctions are fanboys, which everybody should know what fanboys are. You have for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Now, in my example below, if there's any teachers watching this, I just use the infinite cloner a lot. by example below, I have students come up and put these example sentences together. I plan to go to the basketball game, and then I put my fanboy in there. And notice about your fanboy, a comma should always go before your coordinating conjunction, and you should always put a period at the end. But I could not get tickets. I went to the concert with my brother, comma, right? And he bought me a t-shirt. What a nice guy. Do you want me to mow the lawn? Or do you want me to walk the dogs? Question mark. And those are your examples. And notice you have coordinating conjunctions with a comma, putting your independent clauses together. And that's it.